SSA Marine, the largest freight shipping corporation, is currently seeking to build a large shipping terminal at Cherry Point, just north of Bellingham, which would primarily be used to export coal from the U.S. to Asia. While proponents of the project tout the job creating potential of this project, opponents have warned about its significant environmental impacts, both locally and globally. What is your position on the proposed Cherry Point shipping terminal, and why do you hold that position?
Well, I do oppose the terminal. When it was first brought forward, it was supposed to be a revamp of a 1997 proposal that did not include coal, and then coal started being put into the mix in October. And in February 28th, it was very clear when the proponents actually issued a written proposal and they announced signing of a contract to ship nearly 1 billion tons of coal through Cherry Point, what exactly this project was. And it's a coal pier that might have some other parts to it down the line, but really it's a coal-dominated pier that creates a lot of challenges by any metric you use. It's not just an environmental disaster, but it also threatens our sustainable salmon fishery. It threatens our ability to redevelop our waterfront in a timely and cost-effective manner. And the proponents don't feel any, Burlington Northern says they have no, they don't need to take any consideration into the impacts, the transportation and public safety impacts, and the health impacts they place on every community between Wyoming and Cherry Point. And so for all of those reasons, I believe this is a bad idea. I think the way you stop bad ideas is standing up early and making sure that you stop, that you build a collaborative team to fight it, to get attention. And in fact, that's what I've done. I've got mayors across the state backing my position. I've got the governor changing her position and softening it, and now having the state as co-lead. And I think we need to all work against this for the betterment of our community.
I agree with the mayor. You need to stand up early. That's why in October, when I saw what the project was and saw it wasn't the 1997 project that I had been working on as a legislator, I told them that I could not support this project because it was exporting coal, it looked like it was a single-purpose pier, and that wasn't what was in our comprehensive plan. I also have a respect for the public process, and I believe that in order for them they have the right to put a permit in, and we have the right to hold them accountable for what we want. Our pier at Cherry Point, which my husband supported when he was on the county council, is a multi-purpose pier that did not include shipping coal. There's a lot of reasons why we shouldn't do this, and the main reason is non-renewable natural resources are things that we may need in the future, and there isn't any reason to have an energy policy based on shipping coal. I think it's a very bad idea. We need jobs, and since we do, let's give the people that are unemployed in Whatcom County or underemployed some alternatives that they can become employed with rather than having to have a big coal pier at Cherry Point. So I wanted to make that very clear. There seems to be some confusion with my opponent in his campaign, and I never had to change my mind on this because when I first looked at the information, I knew exactly what it was.
Ms. Linville, we'll start with you on this question. One of the main economic development projects in the city is the Waterfront Redevelopment Project, which seeks to transform the old Georgia Pacific plant site next to downtown Bellingham into a new mixed-use neighborhood featuring residential, commercial, and light industrial uses, as well as parks and trails. Although the project holds much promise for the community, it has been progressing at a slower rate than many expected. In your opinion, why has the project been taking so long to come to fruition? And what will you do as mayor to ensure that this project is a success?
8 years ago, I secured $25 million of matching funds for the redevelopment of the waterfront. Those funds run out in 18 months. We need to do something at the waterfront to make sure that we're generating matching dollars in a tough economic time, that we don't squander $25 million. I believe that part of the problem has been the inability of the port and the city to work together. I find that Charlie Sheldon, the new port director, and I have a very good working relationship, as do the 3 port commissioners who have all endorsed me, because we need to move forward on the waterfront, because that is an opportunity for us to create jobs. I believe that the mayor has not has not submitted the sub-area plan to the Planning Commission. It was ready to go a year ago. So a year ago, we could have started having the public debate. It doesn't have to be perfect before the Planning Commission gets it. Their job is to make it be more perfect. So I think that those are actions that I would take immediately and re-look at the intense development that was first proposed in there. I don't think it's appropriate because of sea level rise, and because of the potential of earthquake hazards. So we need to make sure that what we're putting down there is something that is appropriate. Open space, potentially light industrial, water-dependent uses, which the port has just negotiated for, and using the center of Old Town.
Thank you.
Well, first I'd like to say that we aren't in danger of the matching funds running out, but what we have done is we've held off on pulling the trigger because we get a window, and the clock doesn't start running until we start pulling the trigger to draw those funds down. So drawing those funds down prematurely would have actually cost us money over the life of the project, or potentially could have. So we will pull the trigger on starting those funds within the next 18 months. And I would say, you know, one of the differences between my opponent and myself is that, first of all, I've been in the job, and so I know what it takes. But there also seems to be an emphasis on getting along all the time. And the reality is, and some of you have been around for long enough to remember that 3 years ago, around this time, the port and the city were at a complete impasse. And it was because we had radically different visions, and each side believed that their vision was what the citizens wanted. I just gone through a process of talking to thousands of people in a campaign, and I knew that I was right. I knew that the city's vision, the citizens' vision, was the vision I was articulating. And we had meetings in Market Depot Square down at the farmers market. Hundreds of citizens showed out, and in fact they agreed with the position that I was articulating for the city. That really made the port stop and reset and rethink what they were doing.
The mean annual wage of a worker in Bellingham is $41,430, well below the statewide mean of $48,940. Currently, the mayor of Bellingham is paid a little over $120,000 per year. What do you think the mayor's salary should be, and why?
Well, as a state legislator for 17 years, I made $40,000 a year when I quit that job. I know Representative Linton understands this too. I believe that we should have a well-paid mayor because obviously we want the best administrator for our city and the best manager for our city and the best ambassador for our city. But I also think we have to be very sensitive of what happens with our employees. One of the things I advocated for was mayors don't get raises if employees don't get raises. Mayors cut their salary if employees are having their salaries cut. Mayors pay more money for their health benefits if everybody else does. And mayors better work hard every single day to earn every single penny that they're paid, because I would feel very honored to be the mayor of Bellingham, and I would appreciate it, and I would make sure that that if I spent that money, that I earned it.